From the pages of MikeHuckabee.com, where you can read all my columns, hot takes on the news of the day, and if you want them all beamed right to your email inbox, all you got to do is sign up for my totally free Huckabee newsletter. It's delivered not just once, twice daily. Now, let's take another look back at the week that was. The World Economic Forum quietly took down some tweets claiming coronavirus lockdowns were quietly improving cities. Right, that delightful lack of freedom, business, and human activity in general is reducing air pollution and carbon levels, and that's what really counts. Not all the human misery and lost lives from suicide or inability to have surgeries or cancer screening. They forgot to mention all the CO2 that didn't get exhaled into the atmosphere after the victims of the virus stopped breathing permanently. But I think we can assume that it crossed their minds. Climate zealots have long seen human beings as parasites that need to be culled. My response, you first. But there's another important point aside that this reveals their lack of compassion. And that's how the coronavirus lockdowns were used as a trial run for massive government control. As sardonically pointed out by British attorney Francis Hoare, who said, "Isn't it lovely to see all these quiet, dead cities, closed factories, and grounded aircraft? Take this as a warning that if lockdowns are accepted in any circumstance, they will be imposed for climate reasons before long." That is chilling. Meanwhile, on our southern border, the Biden administration says there's no crisis there, just because their rollback of President Trump's successful border security policies has sparked a massive influx of illegal immigration, including thousands of unaccompanied minors, otherwise known as children. Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas insisted this is not a crisis, it's just a challenge. He said, "We are challenged at the border. The men and women of the Department of Homeland Security are meeting that challenge." A challenge. Here's how President Biden responded to a reporter when asked about this challenging non-crisis.
Did you receive a briefing about the border today?
Yes, I did.
What did you learn?
A lot.
Is there a crisis at the border, sir?
I think some people are cognitively challenged and definitely truth challenged. They live in their own parallel universe where the climate is a crisis, but mass illegal immigration that brings in crime, drugs, disease, and undermines the jobs and wages of Americans, that's not a crisis. It's just a fly in the ointment, not a bug. Oh, and if you think I'm being hyperbolic about the disease part, listen to this from the New York Post. Quote, "More than 100 illegal immigrants who tested positive for the coronavirus after their arrival in Texas since late January have been released by the Border Patrol into the Lone Star State and are free to travel to other parts of the U.S." End quote. So while blue state governors tell their subjects they have to wear 2 or even 3 masks and hunker down indoors for another year or two, COVID-positive non-citizens are allowed to run rampant. Let's go on to the Twitterverse. A mic drop moment from New York Congresswoman Claudia Tenney, who was just recently on our show, as she tweeted about scandal-plagued Governor Andrew Cuomo's non-resignation, non-responsibility-taking presser this week. She said, quote, "Just watch the press conference. I take back what I said before. He does deserve an Emmy." End quote. Next up, if you missed this week's big cancellation, well, strap in for this one. Dr. Seuss's books are now being purged for racism. Theodore Seuss Giesel, otherwise known as Dr. Seuss, was essentially canceled by his own estate this week, and on his birthday, no less. Dr. Seuss Enterprises announced that it will stop publishing and licensing 6 of his books, saying, "These books portray people in ways that are hurtful and wrong." Here's what Errol Weber tweeted about that. Why wasn't Dr. Seuss racist when Michelle Obama invited him to the White House?
Hi. Hi, Cat in the Hat. Hi, Thing 1 and Thing 2. Welcome to the White House. We love Dr. Seuss in our house.
You know, at this rate, the canceled creatures might just come for Michelle Obama next. But a hat tip to the New York of all places, public library, saying that it does not censor and it plans to keep all the Dr. Seuss books in circulation. And there sure is a demand for them. On Wednesday morning, 42 out of the top 50 movers and shaker books on Amazon were by the good Dr. Seuss. Finally, I leave you with wise words from the author, tweeted out in the birthday message 3 years ago by our current vice president. She said, quote, "Happy birthday, Dr. Seuss. The more that you read, the more things you will know. The more that you learn, the more places you'll go." End quote. Well, we have to cancel Kamala Harris too? Well, that's it for this week. Until next time, these have been the facts of the matter.
Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, be sure to leave a like, then subscribe, and hit the notification bell below. Now, if you didn't like it, you ought to find a Ben Shapiro video to detox you with more facts.